Before we get into this video, I just wanted to say that 96% of my viewers are not subscribed. Oh my god, that's so crazy. Oh. But, subscribe, I guess? I don't know. I don't usually do these because usually my YouTube videos are just kind of shooting into the void because I'm just saying shit. So, whatever. Here we go. I decided that it'd be a good idea to read the comments and talk to them, have a discussion, I guess, because that was the whole point of the video. Other than to claim that that person is wrong, it was to kind of have a discussion. So let's do this. Given that special versions in the same gen count, the OG theory and form should be included in the Gen 5 part, but also you missed the Pikachus and spiked Pichu, so it doesn't change the ratio that much. I have gotten similar comments, I guess, to this one, where it's that, what is it? Like, Mega Deseves shouldn't count, or like, you know, things getting in the same generation shouldn't count. So, I will be taking your feedback, and I will be removing all of those from the list, alright? Anything gained in the same generation as a release will be removed from the list. So let's do it. So that means all G-Maxes. There we go. I also was told I forgot Diplin. There we go. Mega Deseves has to go. And pretty much all of this has to go, except for G-Max Melmetal and Hisui and Decidueye. Alright. So that's upsetting. Look at Alola, bro. Fuck. Where's my Skuntank and Grumpig Gigantamax? Okay, we're skipping this one. This one is just somebody talking about, you know, things that they want. It's not that big. It's not really that big a comment. You didn't substantiate your claim at all, but Sinnoh is more than an upgrade pack for past gens. It stands by itself way more than Johto, which is actually accurate as being described as an add-on to another region, as all of Kanto is literally in that game. The dozen or so added evos to Old Mons doesn't take away from its unique quality, and I personally think it did so better than Johto. There's a trend of Old Mons getting new forms in subsequent releases. Okay. First of all, I didn't substantiate my claim at all. Yes, I did. My claim is that the person who made the original tweet is wrong. Gen 5 does not have the second most stuff. It has the fourth, and I substantiated that claim through numbers throughout the video. That's it. I don't know what other claim he's talking about, but that one was substantiated. And before somebody says anything about counting things before Gen 6 for the older generations, of course I'm gonna do that. I'm counting Gen 5 the generation after it came out. Why wouldn't I count all the other ones by the generation after it came out? Hell, let's even remove it. If we go to Hoenn and get rid of everything before Gen 6, let's copy this so we can put it back right. Look at that, 30, okay? 30. It has 30 things, even without that stuff. Look at Unova, 26. Let's go to Johto. Let's remove literally everything it got before Gen 6. Look at that. 28. Oh my days. Still more than Unova. Even if you remove things before Gen 6, it is still fourth. It is still fourth. Like, damn. I was just arguing against the point that it's second. It's not second. It hasn't gotten the second most stuff. It's fourth. Damn. That claim was entirely substantiated. Fucking Christ. Anyway, now for the second thing. You know, as much as I hate Johto, Johto is my least favorite region of all time, and I could make an entire video called Why Johto Deserves Less. You're wrong. And I hate to say it. Even though I would definitely say that Sinnoh stands by itself more than Johto. They are both fucking backpack games. They are both DLC-ass games, bro. Like, really think about it. Johto is a DLC-ass game for Gen 1. Sinnoh is a DLC-ass game for every gen that came before it, bro. The amount of stuff it gets. Not it gets, because it doesn't get anything, which is also part of the reason why it doesn't stand alone very well. The amount of stuff it gives previous gens is a lot. If you look at Johto's Pokedex, you will see that they added 100 total Pokemon. If you look at Sinnoh's, they added 107 total Pokemon. How many Pokemon do you think in each of these games is additional for another Pokemon? I'm giving you some time. Alrighty, let's go look. And on this new Google document, I've put it down. Johto has 18 Pokemon connected to the previous generation, and Sinnoh has 28. Would you look at that, bro? Would you really look at that? And I get it. You're saying that the game itself, but we're not talking about the games itself. We're talking about Pokemon, not Pokemon games. Pokemon is in the creatures, okay? Look at that. They're both backpack regions. Damn. And yes, it does have a... listen, the reason I hate Johto is literally because it's entirely a backpack region. Even though it does have some good Pokemon that have no connection to Kanto. I don't hate Sinnoh, because it doesn't feel as much like a backpack region. But we'll just keep it going from there. Wow, you hate Pokemon fans as much as I hate Smash. Mostly competitive fans respect, but seriously, Rand is hilarious and on point. Thank you. You know, I'm in both of those communities. Oh, it sucks, bro. There's so many pedophiles. There's so many in these communities. It's insane. Anyway, everyone is arguing, but does Alola have any? Alola doesn't deserve anything new. I'm gonna say it. I like Alola a lot. But let's be realistic for a second. Let's be realistic for 1 second. It got one new thing in Hisui. It got one new thing in Galar. It got no new things in Paldea. And it's probably not going to get anything new in Legends ZA, because that game is probably going to be dedicated to Gens 1 through 6. So Alola's not getting anything new. Let me rephrase that. Alola does deserve new things. I love Alola. But holy shit, dog. It's not getting it right now. Most valid crash out I've seen in this fandom. Thank you, my good sir. I'm going to be negative and instigate. Alrighty. I ain't reading all that. Alright, let's see. Pokemon is stagnant because of Gen 1. Gen 1 stands complaining about things not being like the good old days, even though modern Pokemon is a dinosaur. It is just like the good old days. The best part of Gen 2 is the fact that you can play through Kanto. If you take that away, then half the game disappears. This is true. People like Gen 3 because it's an easy set of games to mod, but honestly, the most mentions Gen 3 gets is about people complaining about animations look better in Stadium. Ooh. Okay. People talk about that? I've never heard that. Using everyone had the same team as Sinnoh's because there are maybe only like 9 new Pokemon worth using in a playthrough. Yeah, this is true. Oh, by the way, another thing with that, how Sinnoh has more Pokemon, but has more forms for previous Pokemon. Like, a whole 7th of the Pokemon left is dedicated to legendaries. There's like 14 legendaries in Sinnoh. Well, legendaries plus mythicals, but whatever. There's like 14 of them in Sinnoh. That's like a whole 7th of the original dex is legendaries. Anyway, Gen 5 delivered a Pokemon game with halfway competent writing, and now people think it's like walking on water. I don't know what it's like walking on water means, but yeah. Better writing than usual. Gen 6 was so bad, they straight up skipped a 3rd version and moved on to Gen 7. That's pretty funny. Gen 7 was alright, but the game refused to let you play it between all the dialogue and cutscenes. There's no way to skip them without mods. Also, they made over 800 animations of walking and running, only for them to never appear in the game. That last section is completely irrelevant, and that's a fair complaint. That's like the big complaint about Gen 7. Too much talking. Gen 8 has the skip cutscene option that Gen 7 needed, but only skips 2 cutscenes. The feature was removed in Gen 9. Not that big a complaint, if I'm being honest with you. Gen 1 pandering is crazy in Gen 9. They gave you the same buggy experience you remember from 30 years ago. Also in response to everyone complaining about how washed out the colors were in 3D Pokemon, Southern Violet is washed even more color. Also, you need to spend $600 in order to get a half-big game, because fuck you. Alright, listen. I will not deny anything about that Gen 9 shit. But I will say, I was personally saved so much trouble in Gen 9 compared to other people, apparently. Because, dude, my shit ran fine. I had just the most solid copy of Gen 9 on the fucking planet. I think I only found like one glitch the whole time I played the game. I'm getting so fed up with Gen 1 and 5. Okay, the next 5 games didn't get a single mon from those gens. Why? Really think about this for a second, right? Gen 1 will always get new Pokemon. It's Gen 1. Gen 5 is just getting a similar amount to everyone else now. It's... Oh, hi, cat. Hello, hey. It's literally just playing catch-up. That's it. There is nothing wrong with this. This one's really fucking long. Good God. This one's just as long as the last one. Oh, cat, please don't get on the keyboard. Please don't get on the keyboard. You can come on the desk, but just don't get on the keyboard. Ripped off Grizzly Mons, like random ground typing. Yeah, I don't care about this comment. I'll be honest with you. It's very, very fucking long. I just don't give a fuck. And remember that Gen 1 is fucking 151 Pokemon. Deadass, it's almost the same number as new stuff they got. Yeah, the number of new stuff they get and the number of total Pokemon they have is very close, and that's pretty funny. If you want a cool Sinnoh Pokemon to get a Mega, might I suggest Drifblim. I think it's honestly surprising you didn't get one or anything before because it's pretty cool Pokemon. Kalos, Mega Go-Go, Pyroar, Noivern, Florges, or to be funny, make Klefki into a Master Lock or something? I don't know. Alola could use one, maybe Mimikyu. I don't know, Galar might be too new, but maybe give it one or something. Probably is too new, but in terms of locations, right next door to Kalos, so... I will say, maybe never cook again. Noivern, I understand. Florges, yes. Klefki would be funny, but like, Go-Go, Pyroar, bro, put Hawlucha on the list. What the fuck? By the way, Hawlucha has basically just been announced that it has a Mega. It will be revealed on the 28th of, I think, this month. So that's like 3 days. That's pretty cool. Long ass rambling ass comment. All right. I feel like this guy typed the comment as the video went on. Alright, I think I like Gen 4, just new forms, old ones. Honestly, I think they should be releasing like 60 to 80 megas minimum. What? Okay, this person's pretty funny, but whatever. Yeah, they definitely wrote this as the video continued, and then as they were like going back to the comment section, they saw my PFP or whatever. That's pretty funny. So basically, they're just talking about Gen 1 is the most well-known, which, I mean, of course Gen 1 is the most well-known. It's the first game. And of course, you wouldn't have later games if the first game didn't exist. That's pretty basic understanding of time, but... they didn't really say much in here. They just kind of talked about stuff, I guess. 60 to 80 megas minimum is fucking insane, by the way. That is a ridiculous bar to clear. Yeah, I'm gonna say that's a ridiculous bar to clear. My PFP is a Frankenstein mix of a Digger Fox, I mean that's my user, but it is a Frankenstein mashup of a Diggersby and a Delphox. When I was coming up with my PFP and my username that I would use on pretty much everything, I literally went to the Pokemon Fusion generator, clicked random like 20 times, and this is what I got. So yeah. Pretty great. Mega Toxicroak could be sick. It would. Gen 1 are here. We need more love, especially 2, 4, and 6. Dude, you know what's crazy? I was gonna make a video either called Why Kalos Deserves Less or Why Johto Deserves Less, which it's pretty fucked up. But in those videos, I was going to label backpack generations as generations 2, 4, and 6. And you might be thinking, but 6 didn't even really give anybody any new things. How is it a backpack generation? Megas. It didn't give anything to its Pokemon, and it only added like 30 Pokemon, and then it just bunch of Megas, just a shit ton of Megas. You do know if we asked for Gen 5 Remake, we would get something worse than Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl? I have faith. I think that they can do things well. Then again, a lot of the charm that comes from Gen 5 is the sprite work, so it would probably not look very good in 3D. Unova lives rent-free in their heads, LMAO. I mean, it lived rent-free in the original poster's head, because what are you even talking about? But, you know. In some wacky other timeline, Gen 1's only attention it got was a few cross evolutions and baby forms and nothing else besides maybe one Mega, while every new gen got tons of gimmicks and forms for Pokemon Gen 2 and onward. Honestly, I would not hate living in that timeline. Like, Gen 1's cool. I don't hate Gen 1. I'm gonna say it, I don't hate Gen 1. It gets a lot of stuff. It's really like the main problem. It gets too much shit, and I get tired of Gen 1, but yeah. Off topic, I still remember when someone was saying Gigantamax is better than Megas, because not fully evolved Pokemon could Gigantamax, even though the only NFE Pokemon that can Gigantamax are Pikachu, Eevee, and Meowth. Alright, I don't really care about that comment that much. It's pretty, you know, just standard shit. I hate the term recency bias so much. Well, sir, let me tell you something. That is what should be used here. Unova has gotten new shit recently, and that's causing this individual to think that it has more new shit than everyone else when it doesn't. It is literally recency bias. That is the whole thing. I get it, you can hate the term if you want, but it's true. Alright? What else? I love Gen 5. Literally almost okay hyperly. The new stuff has only come out in the past 2 gens. This is true. All put together, there's like 30 to 40 new forms and content. Actually, it's like 26, I think. From what I just counted, it's like 26 new things. Gen 1 is over triple that more. Despite only being double the length since, there's almost as much variation as there is OG Pokemon. But it's worth its liking Gen 6, because they have gotten as close to nothing as possible. Yeah, they have. Gen 6 got like nothing. It has like 30 Pokemon, and none of them got anything, ever. It's really crazy. He's right in the sense that Gen 5 fans still don't have anything to complain about, even if he is unfairly acting like there's some special fan service lightning rod like Keldeo. I will say, this is true. Gen 5 fans don't have anything to complain about. There really isn't. There's really no reason to complain. Gen 5 is getting new stuff at the same rate as everyone else, and if you think that's a problem, that's your problem. Anyway, Difflin was forgotten. I put him on the list now. I think they're retconning Ash Greninja. That's so sad. Pokemon fans, you guys are funny. Whatever. Here's a potential hot take. Megas really should have only been given to 3-stage Pokemon. Oh, I read this one already. Yeah, that's cool. Everyone can do whatever they want. If they want to give first or middle stage Megas, which they actually plan on doing in the past, they're 100% possible. For example, Floette. That's crazy. When do they plan on giving first and middle stage Megas? Unless you're talking Eternal Flower Floette, which is supposedly happening in Z. I have no clue what you mean. And what really counts, special Pokemon will be one-off, and is the animation even in the Terra League. Alright, yeah, I have no idea what's going on here. I kind of agree. Like, when I think about what Pokemon should have gotten the 1 Mega for Gen 5 instead of Autono, I was thinking, like, Gen 6 was a really pretty edgy gen, so Bisharp would have done very well, but if we got Mega Bisharp, there would be no King Gambit, so, you know. Zygarde got 2 forms in Gen 7, so that's not much better for Gen 6, yeah. This guy actually went with the mandatory being a dickhead thing, so I actually really like that. Thank you, Shade4759. I agree with your bullshit, especially the fact that Kalos was shit and is treated like shit. It deserves a bit more fucking love. Yay! Gen 5 needs more love, sure, but the gens that truly need some pandering are 2 and 4. Why Johto deserves less. I think I really want to make the video. Most of the native Pokemon from those regions, aka not evolutions for prior gen Pokemon, are unusable competitively and have a lot fewer unique gimmicks to them. They need to spend the next 2 generations giving Gen 4 Mons evolutions and regionals. I don't disagree. Gen 4 does need more for its original Pokemon. Bro, if I don't see Megas for Ampharos, Lantern, Xatu, Jumpluff? Sudowoodo, Fortress, Magcargo, and Kingler's a Gen 1 evolution. And evolutions for Noctowl, Ledian, Ariados, Granbull, and Octillery, there will be hands. Like, that's damn near half the fully evolved decks that's terrible in the modern meta, all of which have huge design potential to deserve to be more popular, especially Ampharos and Kingdra. Kingdra's, again, Gen 1 evolution Pokemon. When populations released and just haven't been given anything for years. Ampharos does have a Mega. Somebody said it for me. I see where you're coming from. Mega Ledian would be classy. Unfortunately, the stronger Pokemon is, the stronger they benefit from gimmick mechanics. They would have to absolutely juice Ledian to make it somewhat decent in relation to power creep lately. Yeah. Yo, I legit forgot. It's like the only Mega... Don't ever say that shit again. It's like the only Mega from Gen 2, so I forgot it happened. Kind of like Autono being the random Gen... No! There are like... No! Ampharos. Heracross. Tyranitar, Steelix, Scizor. I think I'm forgetting one. Let's just look at the list. Oh, Houndoom. I was forgetting Houndoom. Yeah, they have like 6 Megas, dog. And 4 of them are from the region entirely and not just Kanto evolutions. I can't let this slide. I can't let you pretend that Gen 2 only got 1 Mega. Whatever. Well, between Legends Arceus and Scarlet Violet, Johto actually got a pretty good amount of... Thank you, this is true. Sure, not all of them are competitive monsters, still a pretty decent upgrade from the... And the ones that are competitive mons, they've pretty much been dominating since they were available. They've still not got nearly as much as the other gens overall and deserve... What? What? Oh, listen, bro. I get it. Gen 2 Pokemon are lower powered. A lot of them are not good, even in playthroughs of their own game. But to say that they haven't gotten nearly as much stuff as other gens is propaganda. It's propaganda. Why Johto deserves less. Pokemon fans are amazing. Oh, thank you, sir. Not to mention that Unova only has 1 Mega Evolution under the belt in Mega Autono, which was not introduced until Orize, whereas Kanto has like 17 at the moment. That's like Scizor or Steelix. I feel like Gen 5 Mons have so much potential for Megas, like Musharna, Gigalith, Scolipede, Chandelure, and Dredagon. Those are all really fucking good ideas. Those are all great ideas. Falcon Archeg, those are great ideas. Yeah, we definitely need more Megas. Gigantamax was even worse as a 2 pandered Gen 1, only gave Garbodor a G-Max, but out of narrative reasons. If you counted my Mega Diancie, I think Rotom Forge should also count, especially since they're giving new types and the other day doesn't really change the point much. I have noticed I've been reminded of forgotten some things. Most of them don't really change that much. I've added most all of them, but nothing has really changed. I have added pretty much everything that people told me that I forgot, other than when I just went through and removed things that were from the same generation, because a lot of people are either like, those shouldn't count, or this, that, and that, and the third, you know. Call this video ingredients the way you are cooking, straight busting it down in the kitchen. Thank you, Cabbage Goat. W Mans. My take on regional attention at the moment. Kanto, duh, it's the first. Paldea, most recent game. Galar, third most recent game, will likely catapult back up when Pokemon Legends Eternatus releases in Gen 10. Galar will not get a Legends game in Gen 10. Okay? That's 2 generations later. It will not be getting that. Hoenn, very popular and remake edit a lot. This is also not really true. I mean, it is true. I will say it's very true. But I think Hoenn got a lot of stuff in Gen 6 and then fell off after that because they got so much stuff in Gen 6 and attention needs to be put on other things. Alola, most fleshed out of the 3DS regions. True. This is very true, but it also hasn't really gotten anything after it came out. Unova, their original mons get some attention, having a sequel is unique. Fair enough. Sinnoh, second most recent game was their remake, but still kind of in an odd spot. That's because even though the second most recent game was a Sinnoh remake, it was actually, look at him all the way at 9, being a fucking sleeper agent. Look at him. Johto has the biggest sleeper build of all time. It was actually a fucking Johto game. Anyway, Kalos subject to change with Legends EA, but their mons were second place in their own game to the now dormant Megas. This is true. Johto has yet to escape being the cramp conjoined Kanto add-on. Oh, I fucking hate Johto. Fuck. The first guy didn't say it had as much as Kanto, and neither did I. I was just proving it didn't have second most. There it is. In the trenches for tuna durations is fairly normal. It is, actually. Gen 5 had a bunch of regional forms in Galar and Hisui. Unova fans weren't in the trenches anymore by that point. I've been hearing Gen 5 praise since before even that, to be honest. Being a fan favorite and actually getting attention from the game itself is different. Yeah, it's normal not to immediately get something. Gen 7 has only gotten one new form, how I recall correctly, Decidueye and G-Max Melmetal. Gen 6 only had Zygarde and Greninja in Gen 7 with new forms until Hisui finally added more. Gen 5 has a lot of stuff now, way more than a lot of other regions. I don't think it's second, maybe third, it's fourth. So, so many people forget Johto! I get it, right? Johto is forgettable. That's the reason it gets away with being this fucking sleeper second place. But it's second place, okay? Sinnoh's Pokemon mostly added on to the count of other regions rather than its own. Didn't get any Megas. Oh, many. I was about to say any. No, I didn't get many Megas. So, yes, it's probably due to the sheer size in terms of Pokemon. Still saying there's nothing calling people to say otherwise. Idiots is still harsh in my opinion. Lol, I don't count forms within generations that are introduced, by the way. Another person that doesn't count forms in generation in which they were introduced. But, again, nobody ever said there's nothing. No one ever said there's nothing. I was proving it's not in second. It's in fourth. That's it. That's all the video was at the end of the day. Got the cosplay Pikachus and World Hat Pikachus, basically just saying I forgot some stuff to add to Gen 1, but who cares, it's Gen 1. I'm gonna say it, Gen 1 was completely irrelevant in the video the second I left it. The second I left Gen 1, that document, it was completely irrelevant for the rest of the video. We're not talking about Gen 1. We know it has the most stuff. Pokemon makes so much merch as the first 4 gens. Can Gen 5 get a little love without community outrage? Alright. Check it. Is he spitting? Hold on, I gotta check something. I'm probably gonna take a picture of this stuff and put it up. But good old Jirachidu is right. 99.9% of the merch is just Gen 1. And then, Unova has been a fan favorite region since 2019, and people still act like it never gets represented. Being a fan favorite and being represented are not the same thing. It does get representation, and it is a fan favorite, but it's not as much representation. And let's talk about the merch thing. I think it was like early last year, or this year early as well, I went to Japan, and I spent a lot of money in Pokemon centers, because they have Pokemon merch. I love Pokemon. It's like my whole channel. And guess what? There's not a lot of Gen 5 merch. There isn't. And there's not a lot of good Gen 5 merch either, when there is some. Literally, my favorite gen is Gen 5. I went to Pokemon Center Japan. Before you say anything about Pokemon Center Japan, there's only Pokemon Centers in Japan. I think I went to specifically Pokemon Center Kyoto, Tokyo, and the Sky Tree. Or like whatever little like areas it was. Japan is split in a really weird way, but I went to one in Kyoto, I went to one when we got to Tokyo, and I went to one in the little Sky Tree. Okay? Well, not the little Sky Tree. The Sky Tree is pretty fucking big, but I got merch at the Sky Tree. You'll see the Pikachu. I bought a Sky Tree specific Pikachu. It was pretty cool. And they didn't really have any good Gen 5 merch. The only Gen 5 merch that I found that I wanted to buy was a Stunfisk dog toy. There is a chew toy that was Stunfisk, and I thought it would be really funny to buy, mostly because I make the joke that one of my friends looks like a Stunfisk, and also because I think it'd be funny if my cats were beating the shit out of Stunfisk. That's it. That's it. It does have less merch. Alright? Jeepers. The only one is Mega Emolga, and I'll be satisfied. That Mega Emolga shit is real as fuck, dude. Listen, right? I love Emolga. Like, if I had to make a list of my favorite Pokemon, it'd be up there. It's great. I love Emolga. And I do want a Mega Emolga. And I don't think it should ever get an evolution because I just want Mega Emolga right there. Mwah. Or just a regional variant or something. Give Emolga some shit, bro. You'd walk into any nerd hobby store, seeing 90% Pokemon merch will be Pikachu, Lucario, Mewtwo, Charizard, Eevee, or Snorlax. Why does Pokemon Company International not get that if they were to actually produce merchandise and memorabilia for other Pokemon, they'd become popular too? That's true. I mean, even if it was true, which even if this post was true, statistically Gen 5 Mons getting a lot of alt forms and stuff isn't even that impressive when it's a gen with the most amount of new Pokemon. Yeah. I don't see anything wrong with this comment. This is fair. Six times of... Oh, let's go Pikachu and Eevee. One, let's go against 2, four. That's cool. Alright. I don't agree with calling people who say things like that Gen 1ers, bro. They're probably chill people overall. Well, let's get on with it. Kanto was remade 4 times with 2 remakes, and Johto's 2 remakes. Alola, Galar, and Paldea are relatively fresh. Hoenn and Sinnoh got remakes and more adventures. Unova got Black and White and its sequels. I yearn for Castelia City once more, but when BDSP and ZA were announced, it was all good. Good for them, but you want to say I can't be excited for anything Unova? You had to put G Darmanitan and Basculegion 2 times. And Enamorous. Nobody likes Enamorous. You're scraping for points, so you know there's not much to serve your argument. Now, if you'll excuse me, I gotta figure out how to use Victory Bell for my playthrough. Boys of Fave. Good shit. I see no issue with this. Like, yeah, I see no issue with this. Other than this first part where they were like, this fucking Gen 1 idiot. But, like, other than that, like, bro. They're Highkey spitting. I see no problem. Anyway, Nomus Magius, evolution of a Gen 2 Pokemon. Yeah, I already responded to that. The only good Pokemon in Sinnoh are the starters, Cherubi because he's cute, Drifblim, Probopass, Togekiss, Rotom, and the legendaries. 2 of these are evolutions of Pokemon from previous generations. Fucking Sinnoh, bro. Anyway. I've never understood the hype for Luxray. People feel like people just like it because it's edgy. It's just an okay design. I feel it. Thank you for liking the balloon. This person talks a lot in comments. Like, their comments are long, and I think that's cool. You know, leaving long comments is lit. Cranidos is just okay. Like, you know, most valid comment I've ever read. Personally, I'd place Probopass. Damn, people talked about this shit a lot, bro. What else do we got? You hate Rampardos? Oh, he's Electric Lion. Does he hate Roserade? Roserade's an evolution of a Pokemon from a previous generation. Damn, they really yapped in here. But Skuntank, it's a skunk with a tank's tail. It shoots out flames from its tail. This guy's really funny. This guy likes Skuntank a lot. I fuck with it. Matthew Sentence. Good shit. Honestly, I just want Megas for Rampardos and Cleavor. I don't think we're going to get Megas for Cleavor, but Rampardos has a chance. The only region that truly deserves to get a bunch of Mega Evolutions is Kalos. I'd say I should give Gen 7 and 9 a bunch of Megas since they missed out on getting them at all, and some to Gen 8 since they still got G-Maxes, but they didn't get any Megas. I don't know if Gen 7 and 9 and 8 are getting Megas in Legend ZA. I don't think they will, but maybe. What about Orthworm? Bro, Matthew Sentence is spitting every day of his fucking life, dude. Holy shit, this guy's litty, bro. Bro, this shit surprised me so much when I saw it, because I've seen this guy's, have you guys seen Power Creep? It's this little animation, traditional animation this guy made. I was so surprised when I saw him in my comment section. Really just a W day for me, honestly. I see he must have enjoyed the video too, so it's massive. I'm clicking off this video because why would you spoil an upcoming Mega without any spoiler warning? I heard one not revealed Mega and I don't even know if that's all you said, but I'm not risking it. Kinda sad I was intrigued by this video too. I did respond, what are you talking about? I don't have insider data or anything. Starmie is just speculation. One of the new rivals literally has a Staryu, it's clearly implied. Also, I literally haven't seen anything, right? I don't know about anything. I'm not some insider. I'm not some guy who farms leaks and shit. I don't know shit. If I say something, I think in my Mega tier list, I talked about how Hawlucha should get a Mega. Or at least I've done that, like, without recording. I'm talking about how Hawlucha should get a Mega. And then on Twitter, the Pokemon Company releases something that's like, oh, it was Hawlucha and Machamp, and it's talking about September 28th or something. So Hawlucha is getting a Mega. I don't have insider data. That's just a good idea. You know what I mean? That's just a good idea. I think, oh, what the fuck is this thumbnail, by the way? Is that what I think it is? Can I, like, zoom in on this BFB? It doesn't matter. I think OP's take was pretty garbage, but it did have some truth in there. Alright. I did respond to this one. Unova has been the fan favorite region for the past 6 years, but still this day, I like their underrated masterpiece, which is really dumb. It has 1 Mega, it's on our bed. I don't think OP made a very good argument. Half an hour of listening out what forms Evos are for Pokemon in particular gens debunks their statement pretty handily, but I do understand where they're coming from, because a lot of Unova fans can be annoying when it comes to water in our games getting love from Game Freak, as they're 70 feet underwater like Kalos is. Alright, check it, right? Being a fan favorite and getting representation within the games are not the same thing. Oh, wow, I wrote that. Again, a lot of people think I'm arguing that Gen 5 is fucking 6 feet underground, getting shot, killed, and fucked in its butthole. I'm just saying that the original post is wrong. It's wrong. Alright, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Just the original post is wrong. Kalos is another matter entirely me, and I could make an entire video on why it hasn't gotten anything very big, other than the whole game it's getting in like 2 months. But like, why Kalos deserves less. Referring to a comment on my kiss and they can't defend it. They are constantly pandered to. Anybody who is a Unova fan that acts like we get nothing at all is wrong. We do get stuff. It is mostly just playing catch up for stuff that was missed opportunities, and other gens do get stuff at the same time and at damn near the same rate, but that's what fair is. That's fair. Getting stuff at the same rate as other gens is completely fair. But if people like the original poster of the tweet are going to pretend that it gets stuff at a much faster rate and that it gets so much stuff, they're wrong, and I'm going to call them out for being wrong. That's it. Don't mess with us Pokemon fans, we complain about literally everything. Yep. Sucks to be sandwiched between the Sonic community and Pokemon community. Bro, it's so awful, because I like all of these things, by the way. I love Pokemon, I love Smash, I love Sonic. They're all great games. Not really. A lot of the games are pretty bad, except for Smash. They mostly have bangers. But the fandoms are terrible. The fan bases are awful. It's sad. Is that Soul Bad Guy? Is that a hair clip with the Soul Bad Guy headband? And what the fuck? That's lit. Kalos deserves nothing. I don't give a fuck. Start deleting Kalos Pokemon. Mentally handicapped comment. Oh, it's funny as shit. No. Why Kalos deserves less. This guy is the one who should really be making that video. God, even if I were to make that video, it would mostly just be more like why Kalos has less. But, you know, that wouldn't get as many clicks. How are people this stupid? There's leaks and crap of even more Gen 1 Megas. I need some extras. Excadrill, please be real. Dude, I need Mega Excadrill, okay? Everybody who's a Gen 5 fan ever needs Mega Excadrill. He's so fucking cool. He needs something. He hasn't gotten anything. Thank God I got chased out by Cookie Run fans. What is that? Is there like a fan base overlap with Cookie Run and Pokemon? This is a premium pull from the YouTube home. I was laughing the whole way through this video. Exact same here, bro. Thank you very much, Afromancy and 8-Bit Templar. Man, that's a crazy name. Also, Afromancy, I noticed you spelled my name, your name with a PH. We're the same for real. Anyway, Sinnoh suffers for being an upgrade pack for other regions. Even Hisui picked up on that habit. True, Hisui did pick up on that habit. Hisui sat there and said, "Hi, I'm a Gen 4 game, kind of. I'm a Sinnoh game," is what it should say. And then it gave forms and shit to everything but Sinnoh. It's like, man, that's crazy. And then again, I guess Sinnoh Pokemon wouldn't need Sinnoh forms because they already exist in Sinnoh. That's besides the point, though. I need Mega Luxray, Staraptor, and Gastrodon so much. If the leaks are anything to go by, Sinnoh could... Damn. My condolences. Hey, Matthew Sentence. We love... Bro, I love this guy. He's so goated. Bro, Matthew Sentence, we should do a collab, bro. The only rival to Pokemon... This is from 1 minute ago. Jesus. The only rival to Pokemon fans' stupidity is the Sonic fandom. I swear to God, just because Gen 1 is the first doesn't mean it's not in the running for the worst region ever. Okay, bro. Not too much. Johto's right there. Johto's right there, bro. Chill. I honestly believe that Galar and Kanto are the worst Pokemon games of all time. Gen 5, Gen 9, and maybe Gen 4 are, in my opinion, the best ones. Despite the technical issues, Gen 9 has miles of content and at least has a good gimmick compared to Grow Big and Unbalanced for 3 turns. This guy's fair. This guy's actually spitting fair, but Johto is right there, bro. Calm down. look at Kanto and then look at Johto, bro. Chill. Unova not including Kanto is obviously the most spoiled generation, even based like, oh, I think he meant to reverse this to say Kanto not including Unova. Alright, there we go. Kanto not including Unova is obviously the most spoiled generation, even based Black and White alone. The largest completely new decks in the series, obviously it got a sequel. Other than Kanto, Unova gets most of the regional forms, and the Scarlet Violet DLC, you got a whole 3D remake of Chargestone Cave. You grew up with Unova, clearly, and have some childhood nostalgia bias. Open your eyes. The first tweet is not at all, of course. Loud, incorrect buzzer for this fine gentleman, please. Listen to me. Listen to me. Having the largest completely new decks in the series is the fucking point. It's the fucking point. The whole thing with Unova is that it was entirely separated from everyone else. It needs to have at least 151 Pokemon. Because that's how much the other completely secluded generation had. That's the point. Besides, you're acting like other regions don't have a similar amount of Pokemon. You're acting like Johto didn't add 100 Pokemon, and it's still considered a fucking backpack game. And I get that the reason it's considered a backpack game is because a bunch of those Pokemon are from Kanto, but even with all the Kanto Pokemon measuring to 18, there is still over 90 original Johto Pokemon. Jeepers creepers. Obviously it got a sequel. A sequel is unique, but I'm gonna say it. Black and White 2 is basically Ultra games. Black and White 2 is basically Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, if you really think about it. If you really think about it. The Legendary gets a new form because it gets super taken over by the new Legendary, and there's also the new Legendary that's super cool and awesome. In Gen 7 and Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, the plot was only slightly altered, but Gen 5, Black 2, White 2 had an entirely new plot. And also the champion changes. They're similar enough. Although I will say, of course, a sequel is unique. Other than Kanto, Unova gets most of the regional forms. Let's look into this! Alright guys, here we go. After counting every regional form of Pokemon as like one species, like, let's say, if I'm looking at Alolan Rattata, that's one with Alolan Raticate, right? Kanto has 25, Johto has 5, Hoenn has 1, Sinnoh has 0, and Unova has 7. Alright? Now let's look at things like evolutions with new names counted. Things like Runagiris, Berserker, Ursaluna, I guess, Weirdeer, King Gambit, those kind of things. Kanto now has 29, Johto now has 14, Hoenn now has 2, Obstagoon, and Unova has 11. Johto and Unova are always very close in the amount of stuff they have. Alright? It's not like Unova is blasting the other regions out of the water, other than Kanto, and has the super second most amount of stuff. Because it doesn't. It really doesn't. Johto and Unova are like back to back for the most new recent shit. But people still think Johto doesn't get any attention. It's crazy. It's because Johto's forgettable. It's because Johto's super forgettable. That's it. That's the whole thing. Then in the Scarlet Violet DLC, you got a whole remake, 3D remake of Chargestone Cave. Bro, hop off, dick. Hop off, dick. That's like saying Sinnoh is super pandered to because in Legends ZA they got a whole remake of their entire region. Hop off, dick, bro. That is the most on-dick shit I've ever seen. Holy shit. Starstone gathered in the whole Blueberry Academy was to subvert expectations that the next remake of Legends game was going to be based on Unova, because guess what, genius? Unova is up next for remakes. True. Also, why Kitakami was practically Johto Part 2 to subvert a Let's Go or Legends game for Johto since Kanto got a remake for the second time. True. What the fuck is wrong with my cat? Bro, what are you doing? Anyway. Unova got so many regional forms because Unova has the most new Pokemon since Kanto. You should open your eyes. The second most pandered region is Hoenn.
It's Johto! It's Johto! It's Johto!
It's Johto! It's Johto! Anyway, let me calm the fuck down. Did you even watch the video? That is also something I'm asking this guy. Nah, bro, how are you saying this without watching the video? Gen 5 got one new form prior to Gen 8 where then they were playing catch-up. This is what I've been saying. You can't be saying with saying this with all the attention Johto and Hoenn get as well. They never had to wait. Sinnoh Pokemon has been waiting for as much attention as Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, and now Unova for literal years. Sit down. Yeah, fair. Skylander fans are just as unemployed as Pokemon fans. Ooh, open your eyes. Pokemon Black and White were always bad. Like, dude, no, it isn't. It's above middle range for additions. The fact you wrote a remake of Chargestone Cave and your brain didn't immediately stop you with, wait, that's a single cave, is more shocking than the Pokemon you can... Yeah! These people are funny, bro. Every single Gen 3-5 has 4 region remakes, Kanto having not 1, but 2 remakes, and that's without counting that it's also fully featured in Gens 2 and 4 Gold, Silver, Crystal games. Mega DNC isn't counted. This is also part of the reason I removed Mega DNC. Yeah, Mega DNC was not even in X and Y, it was in Oras, Ashwin, Alola. Yeah, Oras is Gen 6 games. Pokemon fans are idiotic 9 times out of 10. Just try not to use Twitter. Pro tip, I never use Twitter. It changes how children play Cookie Run. Honestly, I'm enjoying Bliss. Alright, so after reading all the comments and mostly talking about the ones that are wrong and laughing at people's jokes, I think this was a pretty shit video, but if you liked it, why don't you wait for why Johto deserves less? Because, man, I want to make that. I fucking hate Johto. Johto is terrible. It's like the worst thing ever. It's so bad. And people fucking love it. I'm actually over-exaggerating. I don't hate Johto that much, but I don't like Johto. It's bad. Subscribe, I guess? I don't fucking know.